All right, I am live. All right, hello everybody. I am live. I'm going to guess that. Well, you can guess that things are not going my way tonight. Something's wrong with my PC. It's not working at all. So I still wanted to do like the regular stream, but now even though I set this up on the laptop's just not working. It just keeps crashing, like even worse than last week, and I can't figure out why. So I'm like, okay, Judas Fly Chai, Shalom, Judas Fly Chai. Welcome to the show. At least I can see the chat. I can't show any screenshots. My those beautiful high tech, impressive. All right, the chat's being funny already. I appreciate you lightening the mood, Mr. Chai, because I was starting out on the wrong foot because I got to do this on the phone, and I like to do the screen share thing. Not that anybody, I think, no one doesn't believe that I say and think what I say and think, but it's fun to have something to switch off to. Anyway. Virgil Doc, Purple Heart. Good evening, sir. I thank you. You deserve an extra Purple Heart for sticking through last week's show. You deserve another medal. And as soon as I become king, I will have the Pentagon issue you one, or the appropriate authority. So you will be the recipient of a suffered through a nightmare stream award. Anyway, it's Monday night. We got to do a stream. There's so much happening. I had this great photo. The Tyler Tonight stream this would have been so good if it would have worked. CatBoi and Jungle Milk. Are you fucking kidding me? This is like it's the modern day equivalent to one of those 70s caper films like Thunderbolt and Lightfoot with Clint Eastwood and Jeff Bridges, where like I know Clint Eastwood was like a renegade ex-army guy and Jeff Bridges was just some dude who wanted to rob shit, and they broke into a bank or something. I don't even remember what it was, but there were these great caper films, the likes of which have not been made in a really long time. And this 2023, 2024 is going to be like insanely fun. Like buy stock in popcorn companies or corn futures or something like that, because people will just be sitting and munching the popcorn, watching Nick Fuentes and Milo Yiannopoulos guide Kanye to whatever his ultimate fate is going to be. This is going to be insane. This is going to be absolutely hilarious and insane, and this is maybe the best Christmas present in I don't know how long. And this great screenshot was a photo of them, the three of them, on some private jet. I don't know if it's Kanye's jet or it's or if he's just leasing it. But the three of them sitting on a jet there, and Kanye's in a sweat hood. Fuentes is in a sweat hood, even though Fuentes was making a big deal out of being in a suit on his show, right? And then Milo sitting in the front of the front of, you might have seen it online. Milo sitting reading the Bible there, and it's like I don't know who took the picture, and I'm looking at that going $10,500 an hour for three dudes. That's $30,000 an hour on that flight one way. It is good to be in the CIA because Nicholas Fuentes, both Nicholas Fuentes and Milo Yiannopoulos both had really a lot to do with my favorite whipping boy, Richard Spencer. They both had extensive fucking doings with him back in the day. And I think that my breakdown of the Spencer being attacked in the streets of DC video proves that the whole fucking thing was a setup. I mean, if you can look at that video and not see and fail to see what I showed you, fail to see that all of these crazy 1 in a million elements would never happen, and they surely would never happen all at once around this one guy. It's got to be like driving Spencer crazy that he's like not the star anymore. That he's been eclipsed by Fuentes and Milo. This is going to be a pisser. And I'll tell you this: you hear a lot of criticism of the CIA. The CIA fucked up this, they fucked up that. They can't do this, they can't do that. But to be honest, they turned Iran upside down with that, Hajib thing, the fucking headscarf thing. They managed to make something out of that, and they've fucked with Hong Kong and shit a few times. So I mean, they still have their chops overseas. I don't think they're as good as here, the homeland. It's the CIA's control of the homeland that's really impressive. You know what I mean? If you think back to National Review and William F. Buckley Jr., right, the son of a senator who starts the right-wing magazine, and that's going to be the voice of conservatism. And the first thing they do is kick out the John Birch Society. First thing they do is kick out the staunch anti-communists, right? Making the John Birch Society, for the whatever, beyond the pale, right? The shift to Overton window. I got to have a fucking drink for tonight because none of my tech is working. CIA did that. Gloria Steinem worked for CIA, right? I mean, there's an old black and white interview of her floating around YouTube where she said she met with them in the 60s. So feminism, National Review, which is literally, I mean, you can't tell it the National Review from the parodies of the National Review these days. Washington Post, literally the CIA's own newspaper, is defending a play on Broadway that's about pedophiles. And they said, yes, it's a play about pedophiles, but it's brilliant. You have all of this stuff swirling around, man. You got that clothing company, Balenciaga, whatever the fuck it is. They're blowing up with the children bondage, whatever, Satanism, spirit cooking, all that Pizzagate stuff all over again, just in time for Christmas. But I would say this, at some point an alarm went up, the balloon went up, as they say in the Cold War. The balloon went up, and basically, you know what I mean? Once Kanye started exercising his First Amendment rights, the phones must have been ringing all over Washington. You know what I mean? The slave is off the plantation. The slave is off the plantation. 5150, gentlemen, we have a 5150 situation. We've got to do something right away. What do? We need to put our top men on the team. Well, we don't really have men, sir. Well, we need to put our top operatives, to bring back this renegade slave, Kanye West. They're like, sir, I know exactly the men we can send. You know what I mean? Men, well, not really men, but they're operatives. Who are they? Code names CatBoi and Jungle Milk. Enter Nick Fuentes and Milo Yiannopoulos. You know what I mean? They're called up, like the phone rings. Hello, CatBoi, and there's Nick Fuentes in his parents' basement doing his American First TV show with his green screen and shit, I'm on my way, and then you got to imagine that you're in the back of some disco with lights blaring and old sweaty black dudes and tons of cocaine floating around. And then somewhere underneath that pile of nude male Negro bodies is fucking Milo Yiannopoulos. And, a phone rings and just a black hand hands the phone to Milo. I'm on my way. And he swims out from underneath that fucking sea of degeneracy. And they go to fucking Langley fucking headquarters and, sir, yes, reporting for duty, CatBoi and Jungle Milk, reporting for duty, sir. And, gentlemen, we bring you here under grievous circumstances. It seems that the Negroes have left the plantation. We have a 5150 situation. Stop Kanye West at all costs. Stop Kanye West. Aye, aye, sir. And off they go, right? So, and that's 100% where things are. And this is so hilarious. This is like, I swear, the last few months I've said this on a bunch of streams, but I'm like, it's like, are we writing this? It's like, is this like this? The things that are happening, is this this is like the demented fever dreams of a right-wing extremist. as fan fiction, like as if, we were writing Hollywood movie lines. This is going to be phenomenal. This is going to be the most entertaining presidential election in your lifetime, probably in the century. This will eclipse Trump. Trump is fucking finished. And I mean, he's really finished. It's super obvious. I was DMing. I mentioned this guy who does Sports Bowl podcast, and he knows Trump via golf, like because he was a golf caddy and stuff. And I think he's met Trump a few times, and he knows people who know him and who have interacted with him. And apparently, Donald Trump takes everything personally. Like, everything is personal. It's extremely personal, and he's of course hypersensitive. But I've said before, these elites are they're like children. They're essentially spoiled children, but with the power, but with enormous power, right? And Trump, they fucking, man, they wrap him in cotton wool and he's finished. But now his act spawned a reaction in the audience, right? And Kanye was in the audience, and it's one that they really can't fucking control. Like they really, what I was reading about Kanye and what they try to do with conservatorship and putting him in rehab and stuff is exactly what they did to Britney Spears. And some of the same people who took over Britney Spears' life and pumped her full of drugs and fucking ruined whatever her life she was going to have. Those same people were responsible for putting Kanye in the like rehab a couple of years ago. And they take your money, they put you in conservatorship, and then you can't even, like, if you leave the rehab sues you as a patient. Like it's all like stuff it's gulag level inversion of reality, because the people who ran the gulags run this. So, but Kanye got out of it, and he survived it obviously better than Britney Spears did. But Britney Spears, whatever, eventually, even though she ain't doing so good these days, she looked pretty shaky. She still got free eventually, right? So this is these people, in the Hollywood version, they lost control of Kanye. Now they're going to try and control him in the political realm. This is going to be fucking crazy fun. Like this is, I have never been so excited to watch a presidential campaign in my entire life. I feel like a kid discovering like presidential politics for the first time. That's how giddy I am. Everyone going fucking crazy, and it's going to be beautiful. Now, I personally think that obviously, well, maybe it's not so obvious, but the Republican Party's finished, right? There'll be a lot of finger pointing and stuff. I think, like I said last week, Biden wins re-election by a not comfortable margin because the stock market's going to be screaming. And they'll pump the fucking economy. They'll pull every fucking lever. They'll do every fucking thing they can do to get this motherfucker another 4 years while, shoveling more money to Ukraine, not just for the war. There's going to be the rebuilding. Like I said, they're bombing for profit in the Ukraine. And we haven't started bombing our own cities for profit yet, but that they may not be that far off. So Trump was the last cycle that the Republicans could win nationwide. DeSantis will lose, and then the Republicans will, be in even worse shape than they are. Enough people will realize, hey, the Republicans don't represent me, but they should have been 25 years ago. They should have realized nobody represents you. So they fail as a national party, and then we go to a real uniparty, a real singular political party that just absolutely dominates. And as much as a lot of people think they want to see that, and in the short run, it'll do great. Like the economy will boom, everything. They'll make it look really good. They'll paper over all the problems until it all blows up. But when that is, I don't know, 2028, 2032. I don't think it's going to go that long, because they're going to have to juice it so much that it'll just break itself apart. But between now and election night 2023, man, this is going to be like so fucking exciting, like so exciting. You know, I cannot, absolutely cannot wait to see them try to have to control this as everybody senses weak, like that there's opportunity in the air. You know what I mean? All of the black vote is going to Kanye West, no matter what. They're going to vote for him, just even if they don't like Kanye, they don't like rap. They're going to vote for him. They're going to go for him because he's black. This is, I don't know what the Democrats are going to have to do to, like, how much Gibbs they're going to have to shovel out the door to get somebody, man. Somebody like somebody darker than, I don't know, than Andy Griffith to fucking, to represent them. This is going to be crazy. It's crazy fun. But yeah, so don't put down the CIA, because they control the most important country in the world, which is America. They control the homeland. That they occasionally fail overseas. They fail overseas. They're not like they are in the movies. It's not like that movie. There's a movie. I like those movies too. Sicario. What's that guy's name? That blonde-haired dude. His father was a minor movie star, like a TV star. Can't remember the guy's name. Good-looking dude. Plays like the Delta Force guy who becomes CIA and is involved in a war on drugs in Mexico, whatever. Those two movies started. The first two were pretty interesting. I don't know where they're going to go after this, but that's not the way they really are. The CIA really is Nick Fuentes and Milo, who is actually a quarter Greek, a quarter Irish, and half Jewish, but now he's converted to, I don't know, whatever, he's a Baptist Christian or something like that. Man, this is going to be an absolute party. All those cool screen shares I had. There's a guy named Jason Lowry who used to work for Spacecom, that thing that Trump started, the Space Force or whatever. He was going to be a space dude, and somehow he left the Space Force, and now he's like a Bitcoin guy, supposedly a Bitcoin guy. And he did a thing where he holds up like a Bitcoin mining machine, and he holds up a pistol, and he says, "This is a weapon, and this is a weapon. And Bitcoin is a weapon. It's a financial weapon," and blah, 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 blah. People are like, who the fuck is this jerk? And he was gone for a while, but he's come back. And he's come back, and he's like, his job is to he's going to isolate and marginalize the Bitcoin maximalists. This is what he's going to do. He's going to use the strategies that he learned at Space Force or some shit like that, and we're fucking howling. Like the Bitcoin Twitter is fucking howling at this guy. So Greenpeace failed, a couple of times in a couple of different ways. They failed, and now they're going to throw Space Force at us. Yeah, like keep up the good work, boys. Keep up the efforts. You're going nowhere with this. In the meantime, just today, Fidelity Mutual Funds, largest private investment firm on the face of the earth, has announced that they will be making Bitcoin trading and purchase available to their customers. Once again, when all the noise, when all the shit's ignored, quietly, step by step, Bitcoin moves further and further and further and deeper into the real world as a real world asset for people with a lot of money. For people with lots of money. Speaking of which, our friend who was here last week in the chat, he's not here, doesn't seem to be here now, but Sam Bankman-Fried, who I had a suspicion was in fact Judas Larchai in one of his sock accounts, but that's me. Sam Bankman-Fried, he's still under house arrest, walking around. He's under house arrest if you count the entire country of the Bahamas as a house, So he's still outside the country. They're still trying to work a deal for him. And they've come up with a narrative, and I had a screenshot of this. There was actually fucking one of them. It's like the Wall Street Journal did this. They were like, Sam Bankman-Fried was going to save the world until his empire was destroyed by his enemies. And I'm like, holy tikkun olam fucking narrative. See, he was really like the Messiah. He was like the MIT, 2 degrees. My parents write securities law, and they're both professors at Stanford. He's was Tikkun Olam. He was going to earn billions and save the planet with them, but he was sabotaged by his enemies. I don't know if those enemies are going to be in Russia. Russia's like a lot of shit's being laid at their feet. They could, I don't know, they're going to make up a new cyber hackers, like a cyber ISIS or a cyber Al Qaeda. They can't use Anonymous because Anonymous is also CIA. You know what I mean? So I don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to maybe just a group of shadowy super coders who we can't really find, but we are certain that they are the ones that sabotage the Messiah of this, the Messiah of crypto, Sam Bankman-Fried. That's what they're going with. You know what I mean? He's got to be the hero, and that's that's pretty logical. That's what they're going to do. If you guys have ever seen movies, there's a great movie called L.A. Confidential. It was like a bunch of years ago. It had Kim Basinger, it had Russell Crowe, and a couple other people. And it's all about corrupt LA cops and Jewish heroin dealers, Jewish heroin dealers and prostitution in Los Angeles in the 1940s. So it was a good movie. It's worth watching again. When you realize they're saying Mickey, they keep saying the notorious gangster Mickey Cohen, Mickey Cohen. You know, they're trying to make him sound like an Irishman, but it's Michael Cohen. You know, whoever that guy was, the biggest like heroin dealer in the 40s and 50s in LA, in Hollywood. You know what I mean? And I'm sure, and to think, if you think that they're not still knee deep or neck deep in that business, I think you would be naive. Anyway, but in the film, there's a whole big disaster. Cops shooting other cops, all kinds of stuff, and it all comes to an end. There's like the one guy survived. There's like I can't remember the actor's name. I liked him. It's kind of a skinny guy, blonde-haired dude. I don't recall his name. Guy Pearce. Guy Pearce. That's his name. He's the idealistic lieutenant who has to learn what the streets are really like. But anyway, he survives this big gunfight, and all the top people, the politicians and the cops in LA are like, "Oh my God, all these people are dead at this hotel. What are we gonna fucking do?" Bodies all over the city, you know. And he's there like in a little isolation room all by himself, and he just mouths the words. He mouths the words "a hero," and they're like, and they go, "What did you just say?" And he says, "A hero. You need a hero." And they're like, they look at this mess and they're like, "Yeah, we need a hero." So that's what they're going to do with Sam Bankman-Fried. Crypto is a disaster. Oh my God, it's there's bodies everywhere. It's bankruptcies, blah 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 blah, this that and the other. You know, what a terrible year. Well, they're going to need a hero, and the hero in this case is actually a bad guy. It's Sam Bankman-Fried. I mean, in the movie L.A. Confidential, this Guy Pearce character, he was as close to a hero as you're likely to get. He was a flawed hero, but still close to a hero. So they're going to take that narrative, and they're probably going to start pushing it heavier and heavier as you get closer and closer to Christmas, and people kind of tune out the news, but they can slide stuff by. You know what I mean? And then once they get it kind of planted in the ground, they can work from there, and they'll have their army of sycophants portray him again as the misunderstood genius, the man who would save the world, who is the victim of, again, shadowy super coders, digital ISIS. I don't know what they're going to come up with, something new or not new, whatever. They got some time. Christmas is coming. Everything's fine. Do not worry about that. The other thing is, I had this thing from fuck was the book called? Damn it! I could show you the email if I could show you emails. Final Judgment, a book called Final Judgment by a guy named Michael Collins, who I don't know a whole lot about Michael Collins, but he had a conversation between JFK's, John F. Kennedy's father, and some other dude who wanted to start like a fourth TV network, and he went to the Kennedys for the money to start it up. And the Kennedys said, "Listen," Kennedy's father said, listen, everybody knows I was a fan of Adolf Hitler, but you know, we lost the war and the Jews won the war. You know, the whole idea of the Jews won the war, that phrasing literally is supposed to came from JFK's father. And he said, listen, they won, and there's nothing we can do about it. He says, I just want my son, meaning John F. Kennedy, to become the first Irish Catholic president. So I'm going to work with them. And he says, but I'm going to let my kids know exactly what's what with who they're dealing with. And so I thought that was very telling. And it had like the book, again, it's called Final Judgment. Author's name is Michael Collins. I don't know if it had the page number, but I thought that was pretty interesting, because I think the old man knew that you don't fight these people, and I think that the son decided, hey, I'm president, and he was kind of feeling his oats. He was feeling like a Chad. He's thinking, I'm banging Marilyn Monroe. Like we're you know, I got my wife coming in, Jacqueline Onassis in the front door, and the Secret Service is hustling Marilyn Monroe out the back door of the fucking White House. I could do anything, you know. And I think he thought he could break those bonds, and he ended up, as we all know, with his melon splattered all over the back, all over the trunk of a '62 fucking Lincoln, or wherever his brains ended up. So, and then there was other thing about in Khazaria. I was gonna switch to Khazaria. There was a fucking saint. There's some saint, I get, and I would have the guy's name if I could look at my emails. But in the year 1100 and change, it's like Saint so and so of the Eastern Orthodox Church is going to the Duke of Slovenia or something like that, begging for him to release the Christian slaves that the Jewish slave traders had in bondage. So this, you know, that there were Christian slaves run by the Khazar Khaganate, is what they were calling it, in the 1100s, and they said that every pinch of spice that entered into Europe passed through the Khazar Khaganate, and you know, that interestingly, everything that the Europeans wanted to eat, they had to pay sort of a tax to the Jews for, like the kosher tax of today. But anyway, this saint, whatever the fuck this guy's name was, not Adalbert, something like that. God damn it, it's pissed me off. So, and he begged the royalty to please let these slaves go. And this is the oldest, like literally the oldest story. Before you know, evil democracy took root in Europe, Europeans were enslaved to Jews for centuries, and the royalty that you think is going to fucking set you free, just happy that it ain't them and their family. A hard pill for many to swallow. A very, very, very hard pill to swallow. Also, there was a thing. This I was going to go like way back. Really turn on the Wayback Machine. In the year 2500 BC, like in Iran and like Mesopotamia, they found a clay tablet with all this writing on it. And basically, this guy's saying that the world is coming to an end. Children won't listen to their parents. Everyone's acting in an immoral fashion. Every politician is corrupt and taking bribes. Every man wants to write a book, which I guess was like having a podcast back in 2500 BC. And that this is surely the signs of the coming apocalypse, and the world's going to end. This apocalyptic vision of the future, really, really common. I guess some people are more prone to it than others. And I think once you accept that worldview, it probably becomes for you a self-fulfilling prophecy. But yeah, the world's not going to end anytime soon, regardless of what the headlines are going to scream at you in the next couple of years. That approach with the right attitude, this Kanye presidency is going to be like hilarious. It's going to be such a roller coaster ride. It's going to be so unpredictable that it whether it's a train wreck, and it's going to be a train wreck because of course the two people closest to Kanye are going to make sure it becomes a train wreck, because that's what they're ordered to do. however it goes down, it's going to be spectacular to watch. Going to be spectacular to watch. But when everybody tells you the CIA sucks, you think about Fuentes and Milo. Immediately, they welded themselves to to fucking Kanye. Nobody, I don't know how you get close to a billionaire, right? How do you get close to a black billionaire rapper? Like, who put you there? You know what I mean? And trust me, they were put there. It's not by accident that Kanye was, surfing fucking dissident right fucking websites and podcasts and shit. Decided, well, yeah, I'll pick these two guys. And anybody that stands in between them and Kanye, that tries to get between them and Kanye, is going to have a series of really fucking unfortunate incidents happen to them. I guarantee you. The boys at the fucking Bureau of Public Highways are going to make sure they keep a fucking very, very tight grip on this fucking situation. So is that? What else? Other than that, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I had a bunch of other stuff that I don't have any. Although technically, the screen says I have four viewers. So to the two lurkers, whoever's lurking in the background, welcome to the show. We're having technical difficulties. I'm not going to spend any money in this show, and so we have to suffer along. But if I could do it from the phone, I could just monologue like this. It's not super tough for me. But to be perfectly honest, I like doing the screen share. I think that, I don't know. I mean, it's a little bit gay, but fuck, it felt like a show when you could show graphics. Oh well, can't do that. So yeah, I don't know. I've like literally run out of stuff now. Very, very nearly run out of things to say. What do I got? There's banners. Use banners to summarize your talking points. Yeah. Create banner. What if I can? Oh, let me see if I can. I'll tell you what. Now, let's do this. This is a horror. Wing. So what does it look like? I don't know. Supposedly there's a banner somewhere now that I said smash up the like button. Make sure to hit the like button on your way out anyway. Yeah, we got an interesting set of things going on. Twitter is going to get kicked out of the Apple Store. They're also going to make Elon Musk a hero, right? Elon Musk is a free speech hero who actually hasn't changed anything in fucking at Twitter. It's just as shitty as it ever was. You're just as fucking shadow banned as you ever were. It's all bullshit. What they're looking to do with this, I don't know, but man, it's gonna be so much fun watching this. I cannot wait. Like, I wake up now since Kanye decided he wants to be president of the United States. Like, I wake up, I fire up my phone. I'm like, oh man, what happened today? It's like, right to Twitter. Gotta find out what's going on. Like, gotta find out what's going on. And I would, just like nonstop hit and refresh to see what happens. But with that, what else did I have? All this, it's so frustrating to me. All the stuff that I have on my phone, I can't show you. So, what did that banner do? What did I do? What if I hit that? Oh, look there. That's it? Oh, for Christ's sake. That doesn't seem like very much. Doesn't seem like a whole lot. So where are we at? 35 minutes. 35 minutes. I'm barely even into this. What do I have to? Too frustrating. Too frustrating. But well, at least we got something. I'm not. This format obviously I can see myself. The video's running real smooth. Hopefully the audio is good. I don't think there would be any problem with the audio. I think you guys would let me know in the chat, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just do this in the future, and I get back to having like guests on or something like that. You know what I mean? If somebody, maybe, you know, if I can run the show with guests, then that would be like more interesting than just me monologuing all the time. I wouldn't have to worry about whatever. Wouldn't have to worry about overloading my limited resources if everything's running off the phone like this. Anyway, um, with that, I guess we'll do an aborted show. We will do oh, man, I can't even. What am I looking at? Post a comment. No, post a comment. All right, now that was me. And now that was me. I somehow I just fucking knocked myself off my own stream. What? All right. What if I did that? Fucking this is getting worse and worse. Okay, 36 minutes, a short stream, but CatBoi and Jungle Milk are on the job. They will 5150 this defiant raisin head, and they will keep America safe. You know, for due to whatever transgenderism or whatever the fuck America is supposed to be, whatever we are these days. Delete. Okay, delete what happens. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Look at that.